It's time for this month's edition of the Microsoft 365 Roadmap Roundup, where I share recent updates that will help you be more organized and save time. Let's start with Outlook. If you use shared mailboxes or you're a delegate for somebody else's email, there's a new way to see and manage the accounts that you have access to. In this scenario, I've had access to Nestor's email account as his delegate for quite some time, so it's in this navigation menu on the left-hand side of the screen. To add additional mailboxes to this section, we're going to go to the right-hand side of the screen in the upper corner and click on the gear icon for settings. Then we're going to click on Account in the floating dialog box, and then Shared with Me. Now, because I already had access to Nestor's email account, it's here on the list, and if I click the drop down on the card, I can see the exact permissions that I have, which in this case is read and manage all folders. If I want to remove Nestor's email account from my left-hand navigation menu, I can click on Remove. Now, when you do that, it doesn't actually remove the permissions, it just removes it from my list, and you can add it back at any time. So in this example, Adele has recently given me access to her email account so I can help triage her messages while she's on vacation. To be able to see her email in my Outlook account, I will click Add, and then search for Adele's name, and then click Continue. I don't have access to her whole inbox, just a couple of folders. And then when I click the drop downs, just like Nestor, I can see what access I have to each of these folders. In this example, I have full access to both folders, but you can set it up so that each folder has a different set of permissions. While I was in here testing Shared with Me settings, I happened to notice another setting that wasn't on the roadmap, and that's conditional formatting. This is very much like setting up a rule, except for the rule is designed to color code your incoming messages. And you can use this either instead of or in conjunction with tags for your messages. So for example, you can go in and add a rule. I quickly gave the rule a name, and then under the condition dropdown, I'm going to say anytime I get a message from, and then select Nestor, who happens to be my manager, I want the font color to be orange. So then I'm going to save the rule and then send a sample message from Nestor. When the message is unread, the subject line will be bold, and then there will be a line on the left-hand side of the message to help you quickly see it. Once you click on the message and read it, the line goes away, but the subject line remains in the selected color. Now let's switch to OneDrive so that we can look at an upgraded Copilot feature. When you go to share a file with a coworker, you often need to add a summary of what's in the file and then add some context to why they're receiving it. If you have a Copilot license in Microsoft 365, you'll see this little Copilot button at the bottom of the message box. Then you can ask Copilot to insert a file summary. Depending on the size of the file, it can take a minute or so to generate the summary. And then from there, you can read the results, make any modifications, and add additional details as necessary before sending the message. This feature has been available for Word files for quite some time, but now you can add summaries to Excel files, PowerPoint, PDFs, and even images. So try it out and drop me a comment and let me know how it works for you. This next one is for those of you managing SharePoint pages. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You want to make a change to a page, but you can't because someone else is in it and you're locked out. So I have some good news. With SharePoint co-authoring, you can say goodbye to that hassle. Multiple people with editing permissions can make changes to SharePoint web pages at the same time. You're going to see a cursor icon showing what part of the page the other person is working on. So in this example, Adele is updating the text on the center of the page, and I want to update the event web part on the right side of the page. We can both do that at the same time. This is going to make collaboration much smoother, and it helps teams move faster. When you publish your changes, a message pops up letting you know that someone else is editing, and publishing may show partial changes on the page. What this box is not telling you is that the other person is kicked out of editing mode. They will need to click edit again to finish their updates. When you see others are editing at the same time, I suggest letting them know that you're about to publish so that they can come to a natural stopping point, or you can just let them finish, and when they publish their changes, yours will be published as well. So these are a few features that Microsoft launched in August 2025. I encourage you to give them a try and then drop me a comment and let me know how it works out for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.